let's focus on what's happening here in the city of Ayodhya. As preparations are underway, Prime Minister Modi has also given a very clear directive to all his ministers with regards to the January 22nd event. And the message is clear. He's saying ensure everything is organized, there's no chaos, and importantly, no inconvenience to anyone. Prime Minister Modi essentially has issued a diktat reportedly to his Council of Ministers and is said to have instructed them to be alert about the program, to show faith but not to show aggression. Is it a message to, in fact, some motor mouths who tend to, in these circumstances, make very controversial remarks? So is the Prime Minister sending out a message, therefore, to everyone within the BJP to ensure that they show faith but not aggression? The Prime Minister reportedly also instructed ministers to avoid making statements and ensure that the dignity of the party and the government is upheld, and that there should be no disturbance of any kind during the Pran Pratishtha event in their localities, that there can be no sort of communal breakdown that happens in any part of the country. The Prime Minister wants the focus to be completely on celebrations and nothing beyond that. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is here in Ayodhya right now on a day-long visit, taking stock of all the preparations on ground. He has always started his visit here in Ayodhya by visiting the very famous Hanuman Gadi temple, and then also took stock of what's really happening at the Ram Mandir site, where the Pran Pratishtha ceremony will happen on 22nd January. So Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is making his way through the city. He's also going to be getting a sense of what kind of security arrangements are being put in place, whether there's a need for more deployment than planned. Remember, the permission has been sought to land 40 chartered planes in Ayodhya, because you're going to be seeing a number of dignitaries essentially touching down in the city for the grand ceremony on 22nd January. So Ayodhya is going to have to be equipped in all possible manners to ensure that security is taken care of, provisions are made for chartered planes, that there is in fact options provided for everyone who stays in Ayodhya, and much more as far as facilities and infrastructure goes.
जिस तरह से भव्य रूप से गंगा आरती होती है, उसी तरह से भव्यतम रूप से जो है सरयू जी की आरती का उन्होंने जो है शुभारंभ किया है, और उन्होंने कहा कि उसमें काशी के 2 विद्वान भी सम्मिलित रहेंगे। इससे निश्चित रूप से जो अयोध्या का भव्यता है और ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगी, क्योंकि सरयू जी का सम्मान जो है यह अति आवश्यक है। महर्षि वाल्मीकि जी की मूर्ति एयरपोर्ट पर जो लग रही है, इससे भारतीय संस्कृति का जो स्वरूप है ये और चमक उठेगा। इसमें कहा जा सकता है सोने में सुगंध जैसे ही काम है, बहुत अच्छा काम है।
इस प्रकार से भव्यता दिव्यता गंगा की आरती और सरयू की आरती ऐसी होना चाहिए, जो पर्यटन मंत्री ने कहा है, बहुत अच्छी बात कहा है। इसकी भव्यता दिव्यता देख करके इससे लोग और भी उस पर आकर्षित हों और जाकर दर्शन करें।
अयोध्या में 22 जनवरी को प्राण प्रतिष्ठा कार्यक्रम है, जिसको दृष्टिगत रखते हुए पुलिस द्वारा आवश्यक प्रबंध किए गए हैं। सुरक्षा व्यवस्था विस्तृत स्तर पर की जा रही है। प्रतिदिन हम अपनी व्यवस्था की समीक्षा भी करते हैं, जिससे कि जहां कहीं कुछ और व्यवस्था की आवश्यक हो, बंदोबस्त में संशोधन करना, इम्प्रूवमेंट करना, उसे कर सकें। टेक्नोलॉजी का भरपूर इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है। आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस बेस्ड कैमरे पूरे जनपद में लगाए गए हैं, जिनको मॉनिटर किया जा रहा है। ड्रोन और टीथर ड्रोन्स का भी इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है, जिससे कि एरियल व्यू और एरियल सर्विलांस की जा सके।
So that gives you a sense of how Ayodhya is preparing, getting set for the big day. Even around me, you see the kind of preparations that have been made at every single spot that the Prime Minister is going to be stopping, at every symbolic part of Ayodhya. You're seeing these kind of preparations underway with workers, a lot of hustle bustle and whatnot. But as far as the temple itself is concerned, it's not fully done just yet. I know there's a lot of concern that the temple won't get done ahead of the Pran Pratishtha, but I can confirm for you that the temple will be ready. Devotees will be allowed from January 24th, but the whole temple as envisioned, the entire completion will be by the end of this year. I visited the Karyashala, which is in fact just about a kilometer away from Ram Mandir, and there it's non-stop work. Workers there have been ensuring that all of the beautiful stones, the pillars that you see as part of the Ram Mandir, are beautified, kept ready to be transported to the temple. Every piece of stone that that is right now in the Ram temple is in fact readied here at this ground that I will show you in our next report, and then taken to the Mandir site. Let's take a look at this report that I filed earlier, where I also spoke to several of these workers and what drives them through these hardships, working for nearly 2 years now through this cold to continue coming in early in the morning and working hard to ensure that they deliver all the infrastructure needed for the temple.
जय सीताराम, श्री राम जय जय राम।
As the Ram Mandir gets set for a grand ceremony, the temple's beautiful stonework has the world talking. It is a few kilometers away from the temple that this work is being done. The work is underway at a constant pace and just a kilometer away from the Mandir site, at a Karyashala where men and women are hard at work, giving final touches to the temple stones and pillars.
So what you see here are also very intricate path stones that have been carved out, which will also be taken to the Mandir very, very soon. Obviously, the final touches need to be done here. But in most of these stones, Jai Shri Ram, as you can see, written in English, written in Hindi. Interesting, I also see it being written in Telugu. There are a lot of devotees who come here also. And this has become a tourist site of sorts. With, of course, the Mandir not being ready just yet. You've got people coming here, praying to these pillars because they believe that all of this, which will be a part of the Mandir, they're getting a glimpse of beforehand. I've shown you where all of these workers, these craftsmen are, many of them working non-stop to ensure that these pillars are ready, which will then be taken to the Mandir.
Women toiling together, battling the cold to do their bit for their beloved Ram Lalla.
Through all of the cold, through all of the hardships, knowing the deadline approaching, that they need to also ensure that they work a lot harder. They're also working on similar pillars, stumps essentially, and what we understand is that this will go on top of the large, longer pillars that we've also been showing you here. Let's take you across and speak to also some of the women. As I said, it's extremely cold, so some of them also have a fire going. But I'll sit down and talk to some of them and tell you exactly how they are working. नमस्ते, मैं बैठ सकती हूँ यहाँ पे? मैं बैठ जाऊंगी। अब बताइए, आप कितने सालों से यहाँ पे काम कर रहे हैं?
1.5 साल से।
1.5 साल से। कैसे, क्या क्या काम करते हैं यहाँ पे?
अब ये कराशते हैं, पत्थर पॉलिश करते हैं, कराशते हैं।
अच्छा लगता है ये काम?
अच्छा लगता है।
क्यों?
अरे हमारे राम लल्ला जी विराजमान थे, अब हो गई है तो ये हमारे खुशी है, तो अच्छा लगता है।
तो आपको लगता है ये सेवा है राम लल्ला के लिए?
राम लल्ला के लिए सेवा है।
बहुत ठंड है, लेकिन फिर भी आप सब ऐसे बैठ के काम कर रहे हैं, अच्छा लगता है?
अच्छा लगता है बहुत।
तो क्या क्या काम करते हैं ऐसे, मतलब आप कैसे करते हैं? पत्थर के साथ पूरा साफ करते हैं?
रगड़ के घस के।
और कितने स्तंभ ऐसे करते हैं एक दिन में?
अरे एक चक्कर हो जाता है दिन भर में। हाँ,
मुश्किल तो है। मुश्किल पूरा
बहुत, हाथ कट जाता है सब करते करते।
जय सीताराम, श्री राम जय जय राम।
There is a constant stream of tourists, all of them who believe that with the Mandir not completely ready yet, this is the next best thing, to get a glimpse of the temple and be close to the walls that will surround Ram Lalla soon. This Karyashala was established even before the Babri demolition. And the stones were gathered here primarily from Rajasthan from the 1990s to today.
जब श्री राम जन्मभूमि का आंदोलन चल रहा था, तब दिगंबर अखाड़े के महंत श्री राम जन्मभूमि न्यास के अध्यक्ष परमहंस रामचंद्र दास जी महाराज ने इस आश्रम को विश्व हिंदू परिषद के हाथ में समर्पित किया, इसलिए कि यहाँ पर श्री राम जन्मभूमि कार्यशाला का निर्माण हो और यहीं पर श्री राम जन्मभूमि पर लगने वाले पत्थर की तराशी जाए। तो तब से यहाँ पर पत्थरों का काम चल रहा है। बाबरी जो विवादित जो ढांचा था, उसका विध्वंस तो 1992 में हुआ है, और जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया कि ये कार्यशाला का निर्माण 1990 में हुआ है।
These these men and women are working through several hardships, merely driven by devotions and their love for the Ram Lalla. With Akshita Nandgopal in Ayodhya, Bureau Report, India Today.